In welcoming Her Excellency Rebecca Nyandeng de Mabio, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, and I invite her to address the General Assembly. Madam.
Your Excellency, President of the General Assembly, Your Excellency, Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellencies, heads of the delegation, and fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of President, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, I stand before you to share the recent development in our country. I intend to do so in the spirit of constructive engagement. On July 9, 2011, we emerged from a long liberation struggle against oppression and domination. After 10 years of independence, we remain on a path of nation building founded on the vision and inspiration of our liberation struggle and what we have committed for ourselves under the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflicts in South Sudan that was realized through the support of the UN, the AU, and key friendly nations. While our determination to fulfill implement the provision of the agreement has been impacted by many challenges, foremost of which is the global COVID-19 pandemic outbreak and the limited resources needed for its implementation. It has enabled the formation of an inclusive transitional government of national unity, the establishment and operation of local governments, and setting up of the transitional National Legislative Assembly that are fervently serving the people. President Salva Kiir launched the national dialogue to complement the agreement while the revitalized peace process was underway. The national dialogue followed a bottom-up approach, conducting grassroots consultation that covers all the regions in the country and articulated the views and recommendations from the people on the South Sudan they would like to see and of a government that would be serving them. The President received the report of the National Dialogue in May 2021 and pledged to implement its recommendations. The same recommendations are providing the foundation as we embark on the process of developing our first ever constitution. Mr. President, the revitalized agreement and national dialogue are necessary historical steps in our country's quest for peace, but we are still far from building a nation that can provide essential services and development for our people. As national leaders, we admittedly have occurred mistakes that may have disappointed our friends, supporters, and the world. We have learned from those mistakes, and I am here to engage in constructive dialogue with our international partners, bearing in mind the lessons and consequences of our actions, and more importantly, the dreams, aspirations, and marching order from our people of the kind of government, society that they want. Permit me to highlight some key points on our efforts to bring about much needed peace, security, and development to our people. First, I would like to acknowledge the product of to further cut emissions if we are to avert catastrophic situation that will be a defining moment for mankind. South Sudan stands ready to help the world, and this is to our national interest, as we have the natural resources and capacity to enhance climate mitigation and adaptation measures. However, funding these measures is essential, and so we join the call to make climate finance accessible to developing countries to enable us to help the world more while also preventing climate change impacts from revising our developmental gains and increasing the vulnerability of our people and country from shocks and stresses. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, I am happy to report that bilateral relationship between South Sudan and Sudan has significantly improved. We have cooperated effectively to resolve our national problems, positively reinforcing our mutual relationship. There are, however, issues that still need to be resolved between our two countries. First and foremost is the issue of the contested area of Abyei. The Abyei Protocol of CPA already states the basis for resolving this issue. Unfortunately, we disagree on the implementation of the Abyei Protocol and have entered into several additional agreements without a final solution. Now Khartoum has called for the withdrawal of the Ethiopian forces in the United Nations Interim Security Force in Abyei. Any alternative arrangements will take time and leave a dangerous security gap in the area. This issue can be resolved peacefully through an arrangement that will give Abyei people their freedom and dignity. Moreover, that will enable them to play a positive role at the border between the two Sudans. We are determined to learn from the past and look forward to engaging in a constructive dialogue, revitalize cooperation, and being more effective in pursuing our shared objectives. We must make the revitalized peace agreement succeed, and we can only do that with support of our regional and international partners. Simply stated, South Sudan desires and is ready to turn a new page. Last, Mr. President, distinguished delegates, I have come to this assembly with the spirit of my late husband, Dr. John Garang de Mabur, and all those who paid the ultimate price in the struggle. It was a dream for Dr. John to liberate his people and address the global community at this very podium. Being here as a female vice president from an independent South Sudan realized Dr. John's dream. Thank you, Mr. President and distinguished delegates, for this opportunity and your attention.
On behalf of the General